What is the difference between these two? Don't tell me, sir, you have H2, this is HCl, I know that. Yes? Homonuclear diatomic molecule and heteronuclear diatomic molecule. Okay. What is the common parameter? What is the common factor between these two? Atomicity. Yeah, diatomic. Atomicity is 2. Homonuclear diatomic molecule, heteronuclear diatomic molecule, and all of them are expected to be a linear molecule. Any 2 dots, any 2 points, always the bond must be drawn as a straight line. Any 2 points connected must be 180 degrees. Linear molecule. So, diatomic molecules, all diatomic molecules, what is the conclusion? They must be linear only. Would you expect them to ask this in IIT? Below the IIT standard. Okay, it cannot be non-linear, it has to be linear. Now we will go to triatomic molecule, A, B triatomic molecule. Triatomic molecules containing only bond pairs and the lone pair and the bond pair. A, BF3 triatomic molecule, BeCl2, BeF2, beryllium difluoride. Beryllium difluoride. How many atoms? 3 atoms are there. Triatomic molecule. Now, what type of, whether you have the lone pair or the bond pair, let us see. Beryllium difluoride. Beryllium difluoride. I must immediately draw the structure of beryllium and the fluorine here. Atomic number of beryllium 4. This is 9. Electronic configuration, not orbital, 2 2, 2 7 here. I told you it is not going to remain in the 2 here. It gets excited, Be2 plus, Be plus, excited state. Only then it can form a compound, oxidation state. Otherwise, if it is going to remain in the ground state, the oxidation state is 0. Beryllium is expected to be inert and inactive like your helium. No, it is not. Beryllium forms innumerable number of compounds. Therefore, we should say 2 electrons only, and both the electrons, underline the electron present in the last shell, valence shell. Therefore, I am supposed to put 2 single dots. I do not want to put them pair, because each dot electron should share with, first of all, the VSEPR theory is meant for the covalent compounds, meant for the covalent compound, not for the electrovalent compounds, meant for the covalent compounds. In the covalent compounds only you put a single bond, double bond and a triple bond. Sodium chloride, do you put a sodium single bond chlorine? No. We put Na plus and Cl minus. There is no, we do not put a bond. That itself is a bond there. Electrostatic force of attraction. Bond is a force of attraction, isn't it? So, wherever you mention the, how are the bonds, single bond, double bonds are formed? By the sharing of electrons. I do not need to go into those details, how the electrovalent compounds are formed, covalent compounds are formed. By the sharing of electron, by transfer of electron, that apart. So, underline only the electrons. Fluorine, you put them in different dots, 7 dots around that. Only the dots present in the valency shell. Okay. Fluorine requires 1 more electron to get the octet. So, what happens here? It shares. It comes very close to the beryllium. Therefore, it shares. But this fluorine has attained the purpose, octet. Beryllium has not attained the octet here. That is why beryllium fluoride is also an electron deficient molecule. Electron deficient, because even after sharing, has beryllium got the octet? No. The purpose itself is lost. But anyhow, it has done a job. It has satisfied the electron thirst for by the fluorine, octet of the fluorine. But let us not be worried whether, how are you going to get the octet, etc., etc. It is a different thing. Now, you see, how do you draw? 1 minute, make a note of your doubt. Whenever there is a single pair which are shared here, we put a single bond. Therefore, it's a single bond. Beryllium here, fluorine here, fluorine here. Around the beryllium, you should always take the central element. Around the beryllium, how many bond pairs are there? There are 2 bond pairs, one here and one here. How many lone pairs? 0 lone pair here. There is no lone pair. Lone pair is a non-bonded electron. Non-bonded electron. Make a note of it. Therefore, totally, how many pairs of an electron? There are only 2 pairs of an electron. And both the pairs are bond pairs. And in order to have the least repulsion, they should be as far away as possible. Therefore, what should be the bond angle? 180. Even if this is 179, and there is a repulsion. Any deviation from the 180, there is a repulsion. So, what should be the most stable condition where the repulsion is the least? Therefore, what should be the bond angle? 180. What should be the shape of beryllium fluoride molecule? Linear molecule. It's a linear molecule. Not linear molecule. Not only that, we are able to get additional information. I am going to give you the additional information now itself. Introduction. Whether, yeah, I will come back to that. Will have some more examples. Some more examples. Is it clear to you? Very simple. Now let us take boron trifluoride. Boron trifluoride. Was there any doubt you want to ask me? Yeah. Yeah, beryllium. Yeah, I told you. Yes. That's no. That beryllium always exists as an electrovalent compound only. 2 fluoride here. 2 fluoride here. We assume it's an hypothetical situation. In case beryllium fluoride, I will tell you one important thing. I think I explained it last class in terms of Fejan's rule. Fejan's rule. Only a pathadan theriyum. You should go look into that. There is no compound, electrovalent compound which is 100% ionic in nature. No, covalent compounds not necessarily 100%. There is certain amount of electrovalency. Beryllium fluoride, majority of the cases it's an electrovalent only, ionic only. But what had it been a covalent compound? This is an electrovalent compound. This is a covalent compound. I want to make use of ES-APR theory because it's a covalent compound. And what should be the shape here? No ionic compound is 100% ionic. There is certain amount of covalent character decided by Fejan's rule. How many of you remember the 4 conditions of the rules here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes? What is the charge of the cation? As a charge of the cation. Smaller the size of the cation, greater the covalency. Greater the covalency. Charge of the anion. Larger the size of the anion, greater the covalency. I shall explain it elaborately later. What is the third point I gave you? Greater the charge of the cation, greater the covalency. I think these are the 3 points only I explained. There is one more point also that is important. I shall explain it. Therefore, I have answered your question now. So, why do you want to? Most of the time beryllium fluoride must be ionic only. Because beryllium, after losing 2 electrons, 1s2 configuration, helium structure. This is more probable. But what about that few molecules which are covalent in nature? I am able to get an idea regarding the shape, ES-APR theory. Is that okay? Tetraatomic atom, tetraatomic molecule. What is the tetraatomic molecule? Methane. I am just writing down only those molecules which do not contain lone pairs, only bond pairs. Methane. Well, we know, we have studied this. What should be the structure here? Carbon 2, 4, hydrogen 1. How do you put? You put 4 dots. 4 dots. Because we need to combine with 4 hydrogen atoms. Each hydrogen atom comes with a dot, an electron. Underline that 4 and 1, valence electrons, valence electrons. Good. So, how many? Write it immediately. What should you consolidate now? 4 bond pairs and 0 lone pair. So totally 4 pairs of an electron. 4 pairs of an electron. Straight away I will ask you the question. Therefore, the bond angle between any two hydrogen atom 90. How many of you say 90? Wonderful, wonderful. But that is not the answer. It should not be. I remember I have told you in the beginning of the classes over there, you have got the 4 balls or 4 flower pots. How do you place it in the garden here? Tetrahedron. You place it 3 here, 1, 2, 3 with equal angle, 1 above that. The distance between any two at the bottom is same. The distance between the apex and this and this and this are going to be this. And that is a perfect tetrahedron. And the perfect tetrahedron, how would you draw it with a 3-dimensional structure? You must know how to draw it. You put a carbon here, you put this one bond here, you put, these are called the normal bonds, and I try to call this as a thick line here. A thick line is this, a thick line here, the other one is a dotted line. The other one is a dotted line, dotted line. Dotted line is supposed to be, I shall put the dotted line here. I think that way it is good. This is carbon atom, this hydrogen atom, hydrogen atom, hydrogen atom. This is called a normal bond, thick bond and dotted line. The thick line tells you the molecule atom is in front of the board, in front of you, in front of you. This hydrogen atom. If you want to go and see that, you have to go to the other room, other side of the room, behind the board, behind the board, and along the plane of the board. This is along the plane of the board. Are you able to get the 3D visualization, 3-dimensional? Therefore, the bond angle is identical, and this is called a perfect tetrahedron. What's the perfect what is a tetrahedron? 4-sided shape, 4-sided shape, tetrahedron, 4-sided tetrahedron. Now, how does it look like? And the bond angle, a tetrahedral bond angle, a regular tetrahedral bond angle is 109.5 degree. To be more accurate, 109 degrees, 28 minutes. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. And 28 minutes is 0.5 degrees, roughly. 109.5. So, the bond angle between any two, based on the VSEPR, any deviation, what happened? There is going to be repulsion, a bond pair repulsion. Okay? And how does it look like? How does it look like? Do you see here? A prism, a prism. A prism. It has got one side here, second side here, third here, and four-sided here. The carbon is in the center. It's connected to one corner here, second corner here, third corner here, the fourth corner here. Let's say this is going to be in front of you. Let's say this is behind the board. That particular thing is behind the board. It's a prism. It's a trigonal prism. Trigonal. At the base, we have 3 points over there. It's a prism there. And that is called a tetrahedron. That is called a tetrahedron. What do you think? I'll ask you another question, related question. NCERT question. This is an NCERT question. What should be the bond angle, have we taken down, between any two chlorine atoms and carbon tetrachloride? Make a note of it. Carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride. It's not an IUPAC name. Put it within bracket. Carbon tetrachloride. It's used as a solvent. Carbon tetrachloride used as a solvent. Carbon tetrachloride. Okay, used as a solvent. And fire extinguisher also. And carbon tetrachloride. What should be the bond angle between any two chlorine atoms? 109.5, symmetrical. Any atom, okay, A B4, a symmetrical molecule containing only 4 bond pairs, must be tetrahedron. The bond angle must be this. Can I slightly ask a higher question? Number of atoms along the plane, any one plane. 2, 4, in between that we have got one more value 3, and last question could be none of the above, or you still have one. Yes, number of atoms along the plane, you just imagine along the plane. How many atoms along the plane? Maximum number of atoms. You have to include carbon as well as hydrogen atom. 4, 2, 3. Well, that's what I was expecting, the 3. Wonderful. No one said 1. Oh, that is ruled out. Or even say 5. No. Let us take, this is your a plane, this particular plane. You have a plane. Let us say this is going to be one plane. This is going to be one plane. How many atoms? 3 atoms, including carbon atom. Or you take a base, 1, 2, 3. There is no carbon over there, so 3 atoms. Or this particular phase, any phase for that matter. You have a phase here, you have a phase here, you have a phase here, you have a phase at the bottom. Isn't it? And this phase, 3 hydrogen atoms. 3 hydrogen atoms. Carbon will never come in the center of the plane. It will be in the center of the prism. Or you can take this carbon and hydrogen. Wonderful. I will take this hydrogen, this carbon and hydrogen atom. How many atoms? 3 atoms. Any 3 atoms can be along the plane. 1, 2, 3. Can I not have 3 atoms on the plane here? Yes, possible. Supposing I put a point number 1, point number 1, point number 2. Is it a plane? Yes, it's a plane in this plane. X axis, Y axis, Z axis. Any 3 points. And a planar molecule, any plane, the atoms present along a plane in methane molecule, 3 hydrogen atoms, A, B, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 carbon, C, B, C and D could be something else. What should be? C, both A and B. C, both A and B. D, none of the above. We always look forward to none of the above. Yes. Tell me, what should be the answer? Both A and B. A plane may contain only 3 hydrogen atoms. A plane containing a carbon, hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen in this plane. Isn't it? You have another hydrogen atom. Imagine the carbon in the center. I take that particular plane only. I connect that hydrogen atom, the carbon atom and the hydrogen atom. I have a plane. How many atoms? What do you have? 3 atoms. And what are the atoms present? 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen atoms. So carbon atom is in the middle of the tetrahedron. Okay, if you take only the phases, don't touch the carbon atom, then it's possible to have only 3 hydrogen atoms. Okay, if you cut that prism passing through the carbon atom, I have already taken hydrogen here, carbon here and hydrogen here. Isn't it one plane? Yes. You cut it horizontally. How many? Only 1 atom. Only 1 atom. I am asking you maximum number of atoms. Oh, he is right. Number of atoms could be 1. I told you 1 also. No one raise your hand. So if that is going to be cut exactly in the middle of the prism, it passes through only carbon atom. Isn't it? So the maximum number of atoms along the plane may contain only 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen, or contain only 3 hydrogen atoms. Both